All right, you know what it is, baby. It's your boy Baki back with another video. Let's get it. All right, so today is going to be a little bit different, guys. I'm just going to be kind of shooting off the hip here. This is going to be my first impressions of Everspace 2. Now, to those who never have heard of Everspace or Everspace 2, basically, it was a roguelike first-person, third-person spaceship simulator where basically you would go from point to point and collect different crafting items that would give you stronger weapons, and you would keep dying but also progress. As every time you died, you kept a little bit of your credits. Those credits would then inherently come back to you for your next clone's life, and then you can get a little bit further in the game. So it just kind of had that nice refresh feeling about the first Everspace game. So the first Everspace game was a roguelike game. Everspace 2 has all of those dynamics that you learned in Everspace 1, the flight, all the movement, how you shoot, everything, all of that feels almost the exact same. But what they've done now is, instead of making it a roguelike, it's actually a single player game. Literally. When you die in this game, you load your save. It's literally a single player game now. That's the biggest change that I can say that they are going towards, and I kind of like it. I'll explain why. So in the first Everspace game, every spot you go to is a warp point, meaning that you only have a specific way you can get out by looking at this little hyperdrive area, and then you warp out of that area. And in this game, it's kind of more like Star Trek, where you can kind of just warp in and out everywhere. And instead of it having this map that you would go to and choose your little warp points within each little system, you now just see everything. When you hit the warp button, you get a quick little black fading screen, and then you go straight into space, and then you're flying to the next planet or the next nebula or the next sun or whatever it may be, and progressing your missions or side missions, or if you just want to go explore somewhere. Like, all these things are capable now. So what I really love about Everspace 2 so far is that it just feels more like a realized game. The first game felt like a good idea, and it was fun because of this roguelike, but you encounter new shit all the time, but it just felt very constricted, almost in a bubble, almost, if you were, in each area you went into. This feels a lot more organic and kind of has this new kind of nuance where you really want to just go explore. So a couple things that they changed to make the game feel a little bit smoother, just for somebody who played a lot of Everspace. We're talking about, I almost put probably a good 800 hours in the Everspace. So in the first Everspace game, everything's pretty much tied to your energy. When you fly, your rocket ability, your shooting, your guns, everything's usually tied to your energy. In this game, they have swapped it. Your energy actually has its own meter, and your flight has its own meter, as well as you have a new ability, which is like a while you're in a system, you can hold the F button, and you'll get this nice propulsion without burning any of your actual mobility that you need for when you take down fighters. So they've already cleaned up a lot of the issues that kind of slowed down the pacing, if you will, in Everspace 1, and they're giving you a completely new take on their game, which is all you can ever ask for. Now, granted, you must remember this game is in early access, so you'll see work in progress for all of the gameplay that I'm showing. You'll see tons of work in progress and these kind of things. This will be happening. This is a thing. Now, what I will say is, for $40, if you are a person who played the first Everspace game and you loved it and you really couldn't wait to play Everspace 2, I would say this game's worth it right now. It's running pretty good. I have a not the best graphics card right now, but it runs really well on my kid's PC. It runs fairly well on my PC. My kid's PC is better than mine. Ain't that something? It's the world we live in these days. But it runs fairly well, and it's a new aspect, and it's a lot of gameplay right now. I mean, when you hit the map button, you can see this nebula star, and it has all these other systems, and I've been in none of those. I'm still in the first system right now, exploring all these different planets and different things that it's taking me through. Looks like you're going to be getting different ships. There's now new perk systems, new abilities on top of your abilities. For example, you used to have an EMP where you could hit everybody with EMP, but now I have an EMP that's leveled up to where when I hit the EMP, it drains 29 of their shield and gives it to me for every fucking person that I hit with the EMP, and then every person I kill that has an EMP on them reduces the cooldown of the EMP for 2 seconds. So there's all types of extra layers that they're already adding on top of the game that are just giving you this really, really solid feeling that Everspace 2 is going to be a great fucking game. These are just my first impressions of it. I'm just telling you guys how I feel. If I had to nitpick about something, I really can't right now, to be honest with you. I'm having a good time with the game. The music is great. You remember the little combat engagements that would happen in Everspace? I'm talking to people who are Everspace fans, but in the first Everspace game, there would be these combat engagements that would happen that you didn't even have to be involved with. You could get the G&B and like outlaws to fight each other, or you can get the G&B and the Okar fighters to fight each other, and then they would send in bigger boys. It's almost the same dynamic in this game. G&B people will warp in and out if stuff's in trouble, but this time, because it's all in a system, they're really warping in and out of these areas, and you could, I would imagine you could somewhat follow some of these cats, because in a couple missions you've already done that. So it's really, really just, it just feels realized, man. That's the only way I can describe how this game feels, and it feels great so far. And I can't see what new things they add to the game, what new things they change because of people's feedback. If I had to depict one thing I didn't really like, I don't really like the new lock-on system too much. It just doesn't feel as snappy as the first lock-on system. That's probably my biggest gripe. Another thing that is completely different in this game is it's a level-based system. So by killing enemies and by taking enemies down, you actually are leveling up your ship, and your ship will get more hull points, it'll get more damage for its shots and weapons and yada yada yada, but you still upgrade other things through your technology and what you find throughout the world. So it has this nice dynamic. They're still trading with weapons and other factions, and you still have so many more extra layers. Now granted, I'm only about 2-3 hours in right now, and I just kind of wanted to get this out to let you guys know that I personally think the game is worth it if you enjoyed Everspace. Now if you haven't played Everspace and you love Elite Dangerous and No Man's Sky and those kind of games, maybe this game's for you, but it could not be as well. I would say just maybe hold off for a little bit and check out some gameplay here, check out some gameplay other places. You know, I'm streaming it. I'm going to be streaming it every day. If you want to catch me on twitch.tv/BakiHama20, your boy will be live with this game constantly, almost every day, playing the hell out of this game. So I'm going to be giving you the true real deal about how I feel about it. It's a beautiful game, and so far I'm loving it. I'm loving all the advancement they've done. What I love about a lot of games like this and like smart companies is when they decide that they don't want to hinder the player. They want to actually give you the ability to do what the fuck you want to do without worrying about, well, what if we give this person this and they start using this ability too much, or they start doing this too much. Well, it's like, if they do, they do. That's what players do. If you start worrying about how to restrict a player's movements and how they can only go this speed or that speed, then you're in trouble. And not necessarily that's what happened with the first Everspace game. I just don't think they thought about it that much. And then once they made the game, they realized, oh my God, we could have done this, you know, and that's how we got Everspace 2. So that's what I really love about the game, is it just feels like everything that you would have a gripe for about the first Everspace game, they've like changed and excelled it in Everspace 2. Now the only thing that you could have a complaint about is if you're not down for the story and you enjoyed the rogue aspect of the game more than anything else, then you're in a different boat now. You see what I'm saying? But from what I see, the game's still pretty challenging. I've died a few times trying to do some dumb shit. You still got to play smart because everything is level based now, so you can't just go around just dumping on random shit. And because of that, it almost makes it feel like it's a realized world. Like, you got to grind your way up. You're not just gonna be able to just go in there with your random ship and 10 rockets and fuck up an Okar fighter and shit, you know what I mean? Because you found an Arc 9000. If you never play the first Everspace game, you have no clue what I'm talking about. But don't worry about it. If you have, you know what I'm talking about. So far, I'm not gonna give like a 10 out of 10 or anything like that on first impressions, but I will say for first impressions for an early access game, this game is impressing me. It really is. I am truly enjoying it, from the cutscenes to the music to the art direction to the planets to how space looks to how you travel in space to the new little UI to the new custom systems that they have for everything, and how you how they separated everything's not tied to energy anymore, to the new movement. Just all of it right now is really well, and I'm enjoying it. And it's crazy that it's only at 0.4. It's not even halfway done yet, so it's super early access. So again, if you're asking me, should you get it? Are you an Everspace fan? Are you a space fan? Are you a spaceship simulator fan where you stay in the cockpit flying through tiny things? Because here's something else that's pretty cool. You also have this physics-based but ability now where you can like grab debris and you can like launch it into space and shit. But it's also used on missions and shit. There was a mission where I couldn't get inside of this base and I had to shoot this projectile through a hole to land inside this other spot. Like, so it looks like it's got a little bit extra puzzle solving and extra layers too, you know what I mean? So it looks like the game is going to be very well layered for a spaceship simulator shooter explorer, Personally, I've always loved the combat in Everspace, and this one feels just as sharp, just as crisp. Everything feels good. Like I said, it's basically everything that was great about the first game, but this game just takes more and just stacks it on top. So now you just got a fucking double whopper, baby. Yeah, I didn't want to ramble too long about this. I hope you guys enjoy my little first impression about Everspace 2. Thank you guys so much for getting me a key, man. I didn't think I was going to get a key for this game, and they hooked me up, so I'm not going to let you guys down. I'm trying to tell people about this game no matter what I do. It's a treat so far, and I can't wait to see where the journey goes. It's your boy Baki on Informative Materia. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Down. Looks like Everspace 2.0. I'm fucking down. It is! Oh!